Good afternoon, student. Today we will see two topics, that is standard input, output and error streams, and second is absolute and relative path. Okay. In the previous video, I given the introduction of standard input, output and error stream, which devices are called as the standard input, output and error stream, as I also explained. Now we will see STD in. We also seen this STD in reads from keyboard, standard input. STD in for standard input, which reads from keyboard. Okay, why keyboard is called as the standard input device? Because whenever we want to enter our data, whenever we want to type any data into the computer, we are using keyboard. Okay, generally we are using keyboard. That's why keyboard is called as the standard input device. Second is standard output device, STDOUT. Standard output device prints to the display. What is the work of this? Prints to the display. So if you want to say output, okay, each and every time output is displayed on the device, which is called as the monitor. We can see the output on the monitor. So monitor is the standard output device which prints to the display. And third is STDERR, standard error stream. STDERR, standard error, same as STD out, but not only for errors, it's a not but only for error. Okay, it is only for error. Okay, so why it is called as the same as the standard output device, STD out? Monitor is used to display the output onto the screen. Okay, similarly, whenever you find any error in your program, that error will be displayed on the monitor. That's why it is same as the standard output device, but it is used only for errors. Now there is a one note. If you want to use the standard streams, these are the three standard streams in the Python: STD in for standard input device, STD out standard output stream, STDERR standard error stream. Okay, these are the three standard streams which is provided by the Python, and these standard streams we can use, the standard stream files we can use by the sys module, Okay, so STD in, STD out and STDERR are the standard stream files which we can use by using the sys module. Okay, after importing sys module in program, sys.stdin.read would let you read from keyboard as standard input device linked to sys.stdin. Okay, what is the meaning of this sentence? After importing sys module, if you want to use the standard input stream, if you want to use the standard stream files, then you have to import sys file. Sys module into your program. Okay, so after importing sys module in program, sys.stdin.read would let you read from keyboard. Okay, how it will let you read from keyboard? Because keyboard is the standard input device and it is linked to the sys.stdin. Okay, keyboard is the standard input device and it is linked with the sys.stdin. That's why whenever you are importing the sys module in the program and you are writing there sys.stdin.read, then it will allow the keyboard to read the data by the user. Okay, now next is sys.std out dot write would let you write on the standard output device, the monitor. Okay. Similarly, as keyboard is linked with the sys.stdin, monitor is also linked with the sys.stdout file. Monitor is also linked with the sys.stdout file. So whenever you are typing, whenever you are writing sys.stdout.write, it will allow you to write on the standard output device, that's a monitor. So the sys.stdin and sys.stdout are like files which are opened by the Python when you start Python. Okay. So sys.stdin and sys.stdout are standard input and standard output devices respectively treated as a files. Okay. These are the sys.stdin, stdin and stdout. Both are the standard input and standard output devices respectively, and it is treated as a files, and you can use these files. You can use this standard input file, standard output file by importing sys module into your program. The sys.stdin is always opened in read mode and sys.stdout is always opened in write mode. Whenever you are writing sys.stdin, okay, sys.stdin means what? It will allow the keyboard, it will allow the user to insert data by using the keyboard, so it will always open in a read mode. Okay. And sys.stdout is always open in the write mode. Following code fragment shows interesting use of these. Okay. Now we see three file streams, standard file stream, that is a stdin, stdout and stderr. Now we will see one small program which will show you how we can use this. Okay, in your program. It prints the contents of a file on monitor without using print statement. Okay, it will printing the contents of the file. Okay, we seen one file pom.txt. We are using the same file in this code fragment. So by using this program we will print some contents of the pom.txt file but without using the print statement. हम print statement का use नहीं करने वाले हैं lines को print करने के लिए. Okay, so now we will jump on to the next slide which will have the code. Okay, so import.sys, as I told you, if you want to use the stdin, stdout and stderr, this streams file, if you want to use these stream files, then first of all you have to import the sys module. You have to import the sys module into your code fragment, into your program. Okay, so how can you import this? For that you are using the import keyword. For that you will use the import keyword. By using the import keyword you can able to access the functions, methods of another program or another module. Okay, import statement आपको क्या allow करता है? जैसे हम यहाँ पे sys module import कर रहे हैं, we are importing here sys module. What it is doing? Sys is having this stdout, stdin, stderr file streams. Okay, and we want to use these file streams in our program. So how can we use this? Okay, for accessing that files, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू इम्पोर्ट. इम्पोर्ट करना मतलब किसी और प्रोग्राम से प्रोग्राम की जो फंक्शंस है उसे अपने प्रोग्राम में यूज़ करना. ओके, सो फॉर दैट पर्पज वी आर इम्पोर्टिंग सिस मॉड्यूल इन आवर प्रोग्राम. fh equals to open e:/pom.txt. Now we are opening the file pom.txt and fh is the file object, or you can call it file handler. Okay, now we will read the line of the pom.txt. We will read the line pom.txt. line 1 equals to fh dot read line. So what is the use of read line? We see in this reading from files functions. Python provides three types of reading from files functions: read, read line, and read lines. It is the second one, read line. So it will read, but it will read single line from the poem.text. So what after reading the line, okay, read line will read the first line of the poem and it will assign to the line 1. Okay, so line 1 is having the first line now. Line 2 equals to fh dot read line. Again we are reading the second line. Okay, now sys dot std out dot write. Okay, now we read two lines, line 1 and line 2, by using the read line function from the poem, from the file poem.text. poem.text के हमने दो लाइन्स रीड किए हैं एंड जो भी लाइन्स हमने रीड किए हैं बाय यूजिंग द रीड लाइन फंक्शन इज in the line 1 and line 2. Okay, now I want to display these two lines onto the monitor. We want to display these two lines onto the monitor. Okay, so how can we display this? By using the std out and by using the std out. As I told you, sys.std out is always opened in the write mode. ये std out ये जो फाइल है वो हर बार राइट मोड में ही ओपन होता है. ओके, सो sys.stdout.write in the bracket line 1. So by using this we will write first line, then sys.stdout write line 2. By using this we will write the second line. Now I want to show the error. sys.stderr.write no errors occurred. No errors occurred. Now standard error, as I told you, std out and stderr or stderr is same as the std out, but stder is generally for normally used for errors. It is only used for errors. So stderr is used to display the errors. So in this I written there no errors occurred /n. /n means new line character. Okay, so here program over. Now we will see the output of this. So it will display first two lines of the poem.text. So this is the output. Why? We work, we try to be better, no errors occurred. So stder displaying, stder is displaying what it is displaying? It is displaying the error. It is displaying the error. Display text, whatever text we written inside the stderr.write, that will be displayed on the monitor. Okay, so here standard input, output and error streams is over. We see this std in for standard input stream, std out for standard output stream, stderr for standard error stream. Okay, now we will start the next topic, that is absolute and relative path. Absolute and relative path. Now what is the meaning of absolute and what is the meaning of relative and what is the meaning of path? You know very well that what is the path. Okay, so first we will start. Full name of a file or directory or folder consists of path, primary name dot extension. Okay, the file which we are storing in our computer, that is storing in particular path. Okay, जो भी हम फाइल हम स्टोर कर रहे हैं हम पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्टरी में, पर्टिकुलर ड्राइव में उसे सेव करते हैं. ओके, सो इट इज़ हैविंग सम पाथ. अगर हमें कुछ फाइल को सर्च करना है तो वी मस्ट हाउ टू नो द पाथ ऑफ द फाइल. ओके, हमें पर्टिकुलर फाइल का पाथ पता रहना चाहिए. सो हाउ कैन वी डू दैट? सो full name of a file or directory or folder consists of a path, primary name dot extension. Okay, means what is it? It's a path. Okay, like c:/, d:/, e:/, and then primary name dot extension. This is the name of your file. This is the name of your file. Primary name means name of the file dot extension. If your file is a Word document, then it is having the docx. If your file is in the form of the presentation, then its extension is .pptx. Okay, so this is your full name of file or directory. Okay, Path is a sequence of directory names which gives the hierarchy to access a particular directory or file name. Okay. Path means what? It is a sequence of directory names. It is a sequence of directory names. कभी कभी ऐसे होता है, हमारा एक फोल्डर रहता है, मीन्स एक डायरेक्टरी रहता है, उसके अंदर दूसरा फोल्डर, उसके अंदर दूसरा फोल्डर, उसके अंदर हमारी फाइल रहती है. तो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, वी आर गिविंग कंप्लीट पाथ, वी आर गिविंग द कंप्लीट फाइल एंड देन एंड ओनली देन वी आर एबल टू एक्सेस दैट फाइल. Okay, so path is a sequence of directory name which gives the hierarchy. Okay, it's a hierarchy. By using that hierarchy we are able to access the particular directory or particular file name. उसी hierarchy से हम क्या कर पाते हैं, जो भी particular directory है, particular file है, उसे हम access कर पाते हैं. Now consider the following directory structure. See, here E is the root folder. Here E is the root folder. Okay, the topmost folder. It is the topmost folder. It is having three another folders. It is having another three folders. That is E is a drive. Okay, root folder means it's a E drive. Okay, project, it is having three folders, three directories. It is also called as the folders as well as the directories. So project, sales and accounts, it is having the three directories. Okay, inside the project it is having again project 1 and project 2 directories or folders, and again it is having one file. Okay, and this project 2 is also having some files. Similarly, sales is having two folders, monthly and yearly, and that monthly and yearly is having some subfolders. Okay, this you can say as a subfolders. Then third one is the accounts. Account is having again one folder and some files, one folder and some files. So this is the hierarchy of the directory structure. This is the hierarchy of directory structure. Means अगर मुझे now if I want to access this FebSal file, if I want to access February salary file, okay, how can I access? First I will write there /, then sales, then monthly, then I will write there Feb Sal. Okay, means if I want to, how can I access it? Again we will see. Okay, E is our root folder. Okay, then inside that we are having three files, but Feb salary is present in the sales folder. Feb salary is present in the sales folder. So we will write first sales. We will write first sales. Then it is having again two subfolders. It is having again two subfolders, monthly and yearly. But I want to check the monthly salary. So I will now write here monthly. And inside monthly I am having file Feb Sal. Three files I am having: Jan salary, Feb salary, March salary. But I want to access Feb salary. So I will write there Feb salary. I will write there Feb salary. Clear now? So it provides the hierarchy of the okay, to access a particular file. I want to access this feb.sal. I want to access this feb.sal file. But for accessing that file, I have to give the hierarchy of the file. I want to give the hierarchy of the file. E is the root folder. Okay, it is having the subfolders, and then we are able to access the FebSal file. Okay. Now next will be, so full name of a directories, projects, sales and accounts will be, what is the full name of these directories? See, E is the root folder, and E folder is having the three subfolders, that is the project, sales and accounts. Okay, so for the project it is the E:/project. For sales E:/sales and for accounts E:/accounts respectively. Okay, so what is the format of the path? Drive letter. Drive means E drive, F drive, C drive, D drive. It's a drive letter. Then :/ directory, in which directory you are having your file. Again it is having subdirectory, so you will write the subdirectory and then you will write the name of the file. Okay, so first backslash refers to root directory. First backslash refers to root directory and others backslashes separates the directory name from the previous one. जो फर्स्ट ब्लैक स्लैश रहती है वो क्या रहती है? इट रेफर्स टू द रूट डायरेक्टरी और उसके बाद जो नंबर ऑफ बैक स्लैशेस आते हैं दैट विल सेपरेट द डायरेक्टरी नेम फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस वन. ओके, बैक स्लैश से क्या हो रहा है? डायरेक्टरी नेम सेपरेट हो रहे हैं. ओके, now we will see the absolute path are from the topmost level of the directory structure. The absolute paths are from the topmost level of the directory structure. जैसे हमने अभी हमने जो एग्जांपल देखा जिसमें हमने FabScell फाइल को हमें एक्सेस करना था, तो हमने वहाँ पे क्या किया? फ्रॉम द टॉपमोस्ट लेवल से हमने पूरा का पूरा पाथ लिखा E:/sales/monthly/FabScell. Okay, so that is called as the absolute path because we are giving there from the topmost level of the directory structure. Okay, so example, अब जैसे यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल लिया है अकाउंट्स में हिस्ट्री में मुझे कैश कैश एक्ट का मुझे एक्सेस करना है. तो हाउ कैन आई एक्सेस? E:/account/history/cash.act. So it's a absolute path. Now the relative path are relative to current working directory denoted as dot while its parent directory is denoted with 2 dots. अब relative path में क्या होगा? जो हमारा करंट वर्किंग डायरेक्टरी है उसी को वो डिनोट करेगा बाय यूजिंग द सिंगल डॉट. ओके, इट only shows the current working directory. It only shows the current working directory. Now we will see the example. Okay, so project1/report.prg. Okay, so project 1 means what? So here as I told you, 2 dots means what? It's a root directory. 2 dots means it's a root directory. So I want to access root directory, then project, then report.prg. See here complete path is not given. It is relative to only the current working directory. It is relative to only current working directory and file. It is relative to only current working directory and file means what? This project1/report.prg. अब 2 dots दिए है मतलब उसके पहले भी कुछ रूट डायरेक्टरी है. It also has previous 2 root directories. Okay, it also have the parent directory. Okay, which is denoted by the 2 dots. Okay, but it related to the current working directory only. So absolute path means what? Absolute path is having the complete hierarchy of the file structure, directory structure. Okay, from the topmost level of the directory structure. जहाँ पे हम कंप्लीट पाथ दे रहे हैं दैट इज़ आवर एब्सोल्यूट पाथ. और रिलेटिव पाथ मतलब सिर्फ हम यहाँ पे करंट वर्किंग डायरेक्टरी का ही डिनोट कर रहे हैं, डिस्प्ले कर रहे हैं. ओके, और पेरेंट डायरेक्टरी को हम क्या कर रहे हैं? डिनोट कर रहे हैं 2 डॉट से. पेरेंट डायरेक्टरी को हम डिनोट कर रहे हैं 2 डॉट से. सो इट्स अ रिलेटिव पाथ. क्लियर? सो हियर अवर चैप्टर 5 file handling is over. Here chapter 5 file handling is over. So in the next class we will see the summary. Okay, we will see some summary, some important points of this chapter. Okay, till that stay at home, stay safe. Thank you and have a nice day.